Okay, we have to talk about it. Your comfort zone. How often are you hanging out in your comfort zone because it is a safe place? You feel secure. You feel like everything is going well. You feel like you're excelling. You feel like you're doing what comes easy to you. Your comfort zone is a wonderful place in your mind, but it is not a wonderful place for your business, because unless you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and go from fear to freedom, you are never going to move forward at the pace you need to reach your goals. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. Hi, I'm Lydia. In 2020, I resigned from my corporate job and took a big leap of faith. I launched a business I had been dreaming about for a long time. I had so many questions when I first started and 0 people on my email list, but I was committed to one thing: taking massive imperfect action. Within 18 months, I had thousands of students in my courses and coaching programs and was able to retire my husband from his 30-year career to work with me. I'm still pinching myself that we get to run a 6-figure business while living a life we love. But the truth is, this overnight success did not happen overnight. For more than 2 decades, I let imposter syndrome, fear of failure, and perfectionism hold me back from my passions and purpose. What is it that you've been wanting to launch? In the Launch Perspective podcast, we share the mindset and the step-by-step strategies that will help you launch and scale the online business of your dreams so you can live life with more freedom and impact. It's time for a new perspective. Welcome to the show. Boy, there is a lot we could talk about when it comes to your comfort zone. And today I want to talk about 3 things that I think will help you embrace stepping out of your comfort zone. I hope it will give you a new perspective. More than anything, I want you to understand that until you are willing to step out of your comfort zone often, you will restrict the results you're going to have in your business. You're either going to prevent them completely, or you're going to reach your goals that much slower because you haven't embraced this thought that being uncomfortable is a good thing. So I hope these 3 tips that I share with you today will help you embrace this stepping out of your comfort zone, because truly we need to get out of the fear-based mindset. All of us struggle with launching something new, most often because of fear of failure, fear of what people will think of us, fear of the unknown, fear of imposter syndrome. In other words, not having belief that we can do it, not having belief that we'll learn it, that we'll be successful at it. But all of these feelings are 100% part of the process to having a breakthrough. And that is where I feel people experience freedom. When they realize that uncomfortable feeling of doing something new, when you realize the freedom and the satisfaction and the accomplishment and the way you're going to impact the world, how much that grows, you're going to want to have this feeling more often than not, believe it or not. So let's jump into my 3 tips that I really hope will help you embrace stepping out of your comfort zone. 1, you need to remember that everyone feels uncomfortable doing something for the first time. Confidence is usually relative to where you feel you naturally excel, right? All of us feel confident when we're good at something, but how can we feel confident when we don't feel like we're good at something? I joined this Pilates club 3 months ago. I'll be honest, all the thoughts go through my head. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if this is going to work for me. I'm going to look ridiculous. I'm going to go and not know what to do. Every time I walk into a gym, I feel out of place. I feel like everyone around me knows more. I feel like everyone around me is looking at me. And the truth of the matter is, It's just something I need to overcome. It's not the reality. No one's paying attention that closely to what I'm doing. They're doing their thing. But because it's new, it feels uncomfortable. And I remember driving to my first Pilates class, and I almost turned around. In fact, I did cancel the first 2 classes I was supposed to go to. I had some excuse, some reason. I'm like, oh, it's not going to work today. When really, emotionally and mentally, I was not ready. I'm like, I'm going to look like a fool. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. And so I canceled the first 2 classes, but I finally went and I almost turned around. And it sounds so ridiculous. I mean, I am a grown adult. There's no reason in my mind, really, that I should feel this uncomfortable about something as insignificant as attending a Pilates class. But it doesn't take away from the fact that that is how you feel when you do something new. As much as you tell yourself that's silly or that's ridiculous, it doesn't matter. In the moment, you feel out of place, out of touch, not confident that you're going to screw up, that everyone's going to be looking at you. And that feeling of uncomfortable is not a fun place to be. But I pushed through, went to the class. Nothing bad happened. I was clueless most of the time and just simply looked at my neighbor to see what they were doing. Okay. And figured it out along the way. And I remember like not looking at anyone, not talking to anyone. Like I couldn't wait to get out of there, that first class. But I'm like, okay, I survived it. I did it. I'm going to go back again. And the second time it went a little better, right? Now I have some clue of what they're saying when they're telling me to do certain things. And the third time even more, and the fourth time even more. I've now been to Pilates. This is my 4th month. And I just had a class today and I actually knew everything that she was saying to do. I wasn't clueless when she said to do such and such move or this move. I knew what equipment to grab, what to do. And truly, it has been a transformation in my confidence. I now am excited to go to Pilates. I now have more belief that I can do it. Even if I modify some of the moves sometimes, I make it work for me. But this is just one example of how being uncomfortable often keeps us from doing the very thing that if we just stuck it out, if we just faced the fear and did it anyway, the confidence comes. And then the breakthrough happens where we actually find we love it, or we're good at it, or we figured it out. And that is the freedom that I know I want to experience in my business again and again. So embrace stepping out of your comfort zone by knowing that uncomfortable is normal. Everyone feels that the first time, whether you're going live on Facebook for the first time, whether you're creating your first course, whether you're doing your first launch, everyone has that feeling in the beginning. But keep going because confidence comes with consistency. Step 2 or tip 2 is to always remember to not compare your beginning to someone else's middle. It could be very easy for me to go to that Pilates class and say, oh my word, everyone in the class is doing so much better than I am. I'm barely doing what they're doing. I should just throw in the towel. It's not worth it. When in actuality, every one of those people in the room also had a beginning. They also had a start. They're just farther along in the journey. And that is what you have to remember as an online business owner. Don't fall into the comparison trap and think, well, I can't do such and such because I could never do it like so-and-so. Well, this is your journey. This is your beginning. You need to embrace the beginning and be okay with launching something that is not perfect. Great example of this. I have my Challenge Launch Bootcamp coming up where I'm going to be teaching people how to launch their offers with a challenge. And if you have signed up for this, you are probably thinking, as one of my clients, my coaching clients literally said to me today, wow, your boot camp looks amazing. They're looking at the landing pages that we've designed. They're looking at all our emails, at what we're doing for text reminders. And they're like, holy cow, this is so incredible. I could never do this. But the truth is, that is not what my launch looked like the first time. The beginning launch for me looked nothing like it because we did it scrappy, right? We did the bare bones, the basics, because there was no we. It was me as a solopreneur doing all the things. Trust me, I did not have the best design graphics. I had a very, very basic opt-in page to my first challenge. It had like one image, one title, a sentence, and a button. There was nothing fancy. I only wrote maybe 10 emails compared to the like 26 that we send out now. Everything was done on a much more basic level. And knowing that you can launch something that's not perfect, that you are launching things that you will have time to tweak and improve later, that you will totally change in the future. Doesn't matter where it's headed, you just need to get it launched. And so if you remember that you're in the beginning stages, you'll embrace stepping out of your comfort zone a little better because it's not about perfection, it's about progress. My third tip is that you need to keep your eye on the prize. What is it that you truly want and why? Why are you launching your offer? What will this offer do for you, your family? How will it impact the lives of others? This goal, this vision, this why must be important to you, or you'll never find reason to embrace the fear and do it anyway, right? We have to keep our eyes on the end result of what is going to occur when we go through the step of stepping out of our comfort zone. So if we keep our eye on the prize, we know the impact that it's going to have, we're going to be much more likely to feel the fear and do it anyway. Are you ready to live in freedom instead of fear? If so, I encourage you to do things that make you uncomfortable uncomfortable. Because like I shared, the first time you do something, everyone feels uncomfortable, but confidence will come with consistency. Remember not to compare your beginning to someone else's middle because it's all about progress. And then number 3, keep your eye on the prize. It is worth going through the process of feeling uncomfortable because when you're no longer held back by fear, you'll be amazed at how differently you approach life and your business. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Launch Perspective podcast. Looking for more? Head over to launchperspective.com for show notes and quick links to the content and tools that we shared today. Want to stay up to date on new podcast episodes or ask a question that I answer on the show? You can do this and more at launchperspective.com. See you there.